Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK. I'm Chris. This is my co-host Andrew, the Boxing Brain.
Hi, Chris.
Today we're doing a different kind of video where we're just looking at a career of a boxer. We were supposed to be interviewing him today, but for some reasons he couldn't make it. But we're just going
He let
to
us
shed a
down.
little bit of light. Yeah, should we? What we're doing, we're just going to do a little bit of a career, a little bit sort of like a bio on his career, his successes, and everything like that. So yeah, let's take it away. I'll start. So when he was
Yeah, go
17
on.
years old, he was in Nigeria. He's about to join the military, and then he watched Mike Tyson get knocked out by Buster Douglas, and he thought,
Yeah.
"Wow, I can do that. I can do boxing. Anyone can win." Like, because obviously Buster Douglas was an underdog. Tyson was an animal. No one thought he was going to lose. So he went to America with his mum. He won a Golden Gloves, did the amateurs, won a Golden Gloves tournament in Texas. Then he won another Golden Gloves tournament in Dallas. Then he turned professional. He hooked up with Coach Curtis Coates, former welterweight world champion, was a professional. And yeah, and he just started absolutely destroying people, coming on the scene really sharp and fast. And then yeah, then he met up with David Tua for his first, I think that was his first 12-round fight. He was a bit of an underdog. David Tua was like putting people in hospitals. Like I think his last three opponents, David Tua put him in intensive care. So yeah, they went head to head. But yeah, you watched that fight? Did you? What did you think
Yeah.
of it?
Well, I know, and this is a fact. I can't remember the exact number, but in the David Tua fight, that fight with Ike holds the record in a heavyweight contest for amount of punches thrown in a, which is,
It's amazing.
I mean, it's just incredible. Like, and you know, the guy's gas tank for a very heavily muscular guy was just unbelievable. I think he was throwing
Yeah.
something like over 80 shots around, something like that, and still maintaining that energy and pace. Like we've seen with AJ, haven't we? Like, you know, we've questioned him maybe in years gone by that when he's coming a bit heavy, a bit, you know, over 18 stone, very muscular, he struggled after the sixth
Start
round in
creaming.
the championship
Yeah.
round. Yeah, because we know, you know, and Chris, obviously you do a lot of strength and conditioning coaching, and I've had a sporting background, that the more muscle you start packing on, the more the oxygen suffers. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. So
he's
God knows.
he's a genetic anomaly.
Yeah, because he was like the thing about Ike Ibeabuchi is he had everything. He had power, lateral movement, like for a 6'5" guy, he had or 6'4". He had lateral movement like Tyson. Like he could do that. He could be like, so he's in the pocket and he's like, whoa. Like sometimes in the tour fight where literally he ain't slipping the punches. He's completely ducking, coming up with overhand rights and taking your head off. Like it was just like his lateral movement was just like Tyson's. It was really good. Like proper like wishy washy, like doing all that all that business. Like it's really good. And he could get on his toes sometimes. Like he'd start bouncing on his toes and pumping that jab out. Like it was just really, he ran all the attributes.
Someone described there was someone in the comments on one of the, I think I was watching like a highlights reel, or it was a little mini documentary, and someone said he had the defense of Dempsey, the jab of Sonny Liston, the attack style of Mike Tyson, and the heart and chin of Holyfield. Well, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad roster of fighters all in one, is it?
It isn't. It's not far off, you know. It isn't far off because he did fight like when he was offensive, he was like Tyson, like counter punching, slipping, overhand rights, body shots, vicious, like all the lateral moving of the feet, you know. So he was giving you angles while attacking you, and he never really went on the back foot. He's always like standing around with you, leaning on you or whatever.
Really aggressive, like very aggressive fighter, wasn't he? And he obviously had confidence in his punch resistance. You could see, like even in the Chris Bird fight, you know, and Chris Bird, Didn't Chris Bird have a dust up with Vitaly Klitschko? I'm pretty sure, didn't he?
Yeah. Chris Bird fought everybody.
You know, and he crashed him with that. I think it was a left hook, wasn't he? Where he just caught him with that massive left hook.
It landed on his face, didn't he?
Just bang. And you know, he was backing him up, Chris. But you know, it's a shame, really. And there was another comment that said, you can see there's a lot of love for him. You know, when I was doing my research this morning, a lot of love for him, and it was saying, a lot of people were saying he's probably one of the top 5-10 heavyweights that never got a world title because of, and maybe we'll discuss it a bit now, because of some of the complications, some of the legal battles, the allegations, some of the, you know, the jet.
That's it. And obviously,
I don't have all the facts, so I'm not going to go there with the ins and outs. But he really is a guy that what could have been, because from
100%.
me, and I didn't know too much about him, I'll be honest. I don't know how. I don't know why it just passed me by a little bit. But looking back over his fights today, bloody hell, he had everything that you'd want. Even his ring generalmanship and IQ was superb as well.
Like in the ring, he was a smart fighter. Like his timing.
From what I could see, like he was clever as well. So, you know, the guy was a world champion in weighting, really.
100%. Like if he could have kept it together, like obviously mental health and everything outside the ring, but inside the ring, wow. Because like he like you say, his ring craft, his ring generalship, like he didn't go on the back foot. He kind of did like a bit like Holyfield, kind of like he was always in the pocket. He was always either on your chest or mid range. He was never on the back foot. He was never on the outside. He was always right there in your face. Because I think in that David Tua fight, even if that David Tua fight, David Tua was like, "Oh, I'm going to back him up," and he didn't back up. So that's why that fight was just a tear up. Because David Tua, he's a fucking warrior as well. So them two, you got two geezers that don't back up, that don't really hold, are just standing there, just going for it like an old school bare knuckle fight, really. And it was.
I'm hoping we get this on September 21st with Dubois AJ. Although I think with David Tua and Ike, they were much more level in terms of their statistics, both good chins, both good power.
Yeah.
I think the difference with Dubois and AJ is that I don't think Dubois got the chin that those two guys were talking about. So, that's the kind of fights you like to see at heavyweight, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that either, man. I think Dubois would probably like to have a dust up like that because he tried to do it with John Joyce.
Yeah.
And he ended up knackered himself out.
I think he will.
But I think he will. I think AJ won't want to do that because I think AJ's just going to want to box him a little bit, set some traps, and spark him out. That's what AJ's going to do. I think AJ's not going to want to swing it out with him. If Dubois starts swinging it out with him, what AJ's going to do? He's going to tie him up. That's what I can see AJ doing. I can't see him saying like it's the same old saying, but don't make the fighters how they used to. And like if you look back in the 90s,
but I think
we ain't gonna get that now in heavyweight.
The IQ,
like and as well we're not. I don't think any fighters are gonna fight like that at heavyweight now. If you think about it, they might do in spurts, but nah, we just don't make them. They don't have the minerals like they did back in the days, you know. Now it's more technical, pacing yourself, all that, you know.
I think people are a bit more health conscious now as well, and I think there's other elements to it. People sort of, I mean, can you imagine seeing that? Like, oh, blimey.
Yeah, I mean, the only person who fights like that really is Jerome Miller, but he's not that good. And he doesn't get that hard.
He's about 650 pounds. That's why.
And he's full of fucking roids.
Yeah.
But Jerome Miller, even though
things with Jerome Miller, if he ain't got the whole of the pharmacy in his system, he ain't the same guy, is he?
No, because he might be able to throw all them punches, but do they really? He's got no power. even though he's a big unit, he ain't got power punches. He's just like it's like EJ Honda from Street Fighter with that one fast move.
Yeah. But
But he's
going
not
back
really
to
doing much. Ike Ibeabuchi, yeah.
I think that's the difference, you know, is that he was able to throw volume of punches similar to a Gerald Miller. And I'm not even going there with the heads or people in the comments start saying, "Oh, he's probably on blood." Let's just assume and hope that he wasn't. Let's just say he was one of these kind of like genetically gifted people, because you know he probably was. He was not only able to throw volume of punches, but also with ill intent and with power as well. Like, can you imagine him now? Can you imagine it, a 25-year-old Ibeabuchi in the division now? No one would want to fight him.
No.
I don't. I think he would.
And he looks menacing.
I think he would be outside of Usyk. Outside of Usyk, I think he would be a major problem. A major problem.
Yeah, I think Usyk would be the only person who probably maybe be able to beat him with boxing. And he would have to run. Because if you watch his fights there, when he's throwing them punches, like he's loading up. He's not like because he's loading up on all the shots. He's not like pity patties. It's like even his jab was quite strong, but like he was loading up on his punches all the time, and it's like he just didn't run out of energy. And they're like proper bad intentions.
He had 15 on his 20th fight, up to 25. He had 15 knockouts, didn't he? And you know, and he fought some ex-Olympians, and you know, some of those guys were like of good stock. So
you know, one of them was. I think one of them was Mike Tyson's chief sparring partner.
Yeah.
Like before,
There's a bronze medalist in there, I think, as well. Somewhere along his career.
He did fight his, like, obviously he's building, he's on his way up as a prospect, but he had some tough fights. He didn't fight this puddings the whole way through. He fought some good fighters.
Yeah, I think the thing is good. The Usyk, and I know we do this, we compare eras, but when Fury was catching Usyk with those uppercuts and was affecting him, you just imagine, don't you, if someone like
Ike Ibeabuchi,
it would have been a. But anyway, we're comparing different eras, and
but then like hopefully someone like Usyk, he ain't he's not like he took it off Fury, but he took a few uppercuts, and then he got hurt off one. I guarantee if he caught one off Ibeabuchi, he would not be wanting to get caught with that again, and he'd make the adjustment like, wow, I ain't getting two more of them. I'm going out. I'm going bye. So stay away from that uppercut, and he'd make the adjustment because he's that kind of fighter, you know.
If he got to his toes, wouldn't he? Vibrations down fine.
Well, that Ike Ibeabuchi, like he was, it's just a shame, but he was a precocious talent, and he would have definitely gone all the way. Because even that Chris Bird fight, Chris Bird was an excellent boxer, and when I was watching the fight, I seen Chris. And I'm thinking, I knew that he knocked him out already, but Chris Bird was moving, slipping, and it's like, I was going to get this guy. But what does he do? Starts cutting the ring off. You know, like really, really good. He started to cut the ring off, set him up, bang, bang, put him down, then drops him again, he lands on his face.
Yeah. And I think it's, I suppose as we enter into the last part of the video, I guess we'll touch on, because anyone that's kind of interested while watching up to this point, like, so what happened then? You know, that might be some questions. People are like, so what? This guy, you're talking about the guy that was in there. Well, essentially there were, and Chris will know a little bit more about this, who's done that little research. There was a lot of allegations, a lot of mental health issues, you know, court appearances, and it essentially ended up in prison, Chris, didn't he, for a long time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's a few allegations from various people. He started to suffer with a bit of mental health. He has got bipolar disorder and paranoid schizophrenia. So obviously, it is when you've got them kind of mental health conditions, it's not ideal to be getting punched in the head really. And obviously, he did. Apparently, there was.
Yeah, it's a
There
good
is one video
point to make.
where it shows the punch that David Tua lands on Ibeabuchi and says, apparently, this punch is what's affecting his bipolar and his paranoid schizophrenia. Because he lands a punch right there or something. In that fight, like it was a really, really good shot, and obviously he ate it, and he started to insist that everyone call him Mr. President. So he didn't answer to Ike Ibeabuchi. He only answered to Mr. President to everybody, even if you didn't know him. So and so he ended up going to prison for 20 years.
About this. He said that he genuinely, according to Lou DiBella, he genuinely thought in some circumstances he was the president. So it does make you wonder kind of what was going on there a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. It's a funny old thing, mental health. And it's such a shame. Like, yeah. Lou DiBella was his manager as well. Like, before he went to prison, he was just about to sign a big multi-million contract with HBO.
Yeah.
Lou DiBella was shaping and this is the guy. It's like Dave Allen talks about, like, no offense to Dave Allen, I like Dave Allen, but what he could have done if he stayed in shape and took boxing seriously. What this guy could have done, he could have took over the heavyweight division.
But with all due respect to Dave Allen, he didn't have any of the physical abilities of what someone like Ike Ibeabuchi had. Nowhere near.
So he needed to be a hard worker.
Yeah,
for real.
But I think there's a wider conversation to be had, and we probably won't go there in this video. But if and with mental health, which is a real problem in today's world, and with boxers that do suffer from it, those blows to the head, just as you were saying it earlier, I thought, God, yeah, that must have an impact.
An effect.
That must have an impact on your reading skills, your
cognitive functions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because I know a little bit about neurology, and obviously your frontal lobe is on the, and in dementia, for example, that all gets a lot of the time that gets destroyed, which controls all your reasoning and your kind of pragmatic thinking. So definitely, it might be worth doing a video sometime discussing that, because when we see some of these fighters go off the rails, we think, oh God, they're crazy. But I don't think people realise that those blows to the head can have all sorts of impacts on their psychology.
And it's for our entertainment. And if people suffer from like mental health, especially I think things like bipolar and paranoid schizophrenia, like you get a punch in the head hard, especially heavyweights. It's going to have a little bit of effect on it,
Yeah, I know.
A bit detrimental.
Yeah, I think if I was being hit by Ike in sparring, I think I'd be waking up the next day sort of questioning my sanity, to be honest.
If you look at the era that Ike Ibeabuchi was in, he had those Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. I think he could have beat all of them. Really?
Yeah.
I really do think. If you think, I think Chris Bird beat Amber Holyfield. I think. I'm not too sure. But anyway, he became world champion. I know he fought Holyfield.
I'll double check that one. We can double check that.
Yeah, we'll have to double check that. And he beat John Ruiz as well. John Ruiz was the world champion. Ike Ibeabuchi would have destroyed John Ruiz, I definitely believe, honestly. Yeah, I think he had all the main players in the 90s at heavyweight, Ike Ibeabuchi could definitely beat them or give them a problem.
Yeah,
in his era, 100%.
there was one comment that said, and you know, I mean, these are just comments from people that are boxing fans, but they said it was just as well what happened to him. Otherwise, Lennox Lewis would never be what we know him as today, as if to sort of say that. So, I mean, that's a big old statement to make, isn't it? But,
I do. Obviously, it's Lennox, but you never know because I don't think he would have fought anyone with that kind of gas tank.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of, because I'm a big Lennox Lewis fan, like I think,
yeah, me too. Yeah.
Second to Muhammad Ali, he's like the best heavyweight of all time. After Muhammad Ali, but if you think about his wins, the only person with that kind of gas tank, would I'd say that he fought, who was muscular, would maybe be Vitaly Klitschko, but Vitaly Klitschko didn't have the power that Ibeabuchi had, you know?
Yeah,
so Lewis was struggling in that fight. Yeah, and he struggled with Vitaly a little bit before he got stopped from the top. He was coming back into the fight, so I would give him a good shot. I would give him a chance to be any heavyweight in that era. Even Mike Tyson. I would rate him that good, that highly at that point. And if you watch his fights and even see his wins, you can't really argue with it, you know?
To be honest, after I was watching a lot of his stuff this morning, I was pretty much, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, because when he did step up against the David Tuers, the Chris Birds, you know, he done a terrific job. So it just made you think, you know, what was his ceiling?
Yeah.
And I know it's all, look, people are going to be watching this saying, oh, well, you know, how do you know, and all the rest of it. And, you know, most people wouldn't have heard of him. And yeah, look, okay, fine. But I think it's just an interesting conversation to have. You know, there are going to be many sportsmen out there, many fighters that if under the right circumstances and, you know, things went their way a bit more, then they probably would have done. But that's life.
Yeah, sometimes shit happens. Obviously, it's an interesting character. And hopefully, we'll get him on the show. But yeah, let's tie it up, geezer.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, guys. Boxing Bros UK.
Next video comes soon.
Yes.